Good morning. I'm Carlton Sharp, pastor of Faith Christian Center Church, right here in the beautiful city of Beaumont, Texas. And we're here on what's happening in our neighborhood. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
I was born and raised in Wisconsin, and following high school, I joined the military, and following the military, I joined the Federal Bureau of Prisons as a correctional officer back in 1973. When I retired from the Bureau of Prisons in 1998, I was a warden at the U.S. Penitentiary here in Beaumont, Texas. In 2002, my wife and I started our consulting business, which is Police and Corrections International Consulting, and we did fairly well in that, so we started our own foundation to provide. It started off providing scholarships to children who have parents in prison, and we still do that, but we've expanded the program to the Right Path program here in Beaumont, and that's getting those kids that are potentially at risk into the community college, getting them in a job force, and keeping them out of jail.
So as a warden, you seen the need to help at first the prisoners' children get past that point of coming into your system.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I could walk through the visiting room and almost pick out who our next client was going to be. I mean, it was that obvious to me.
Well, how was that? How were you able to determine that?
Well, just by attitude and the way they conducted themselves, and probably a lot to do with their parent being in prison and the stigmatism that they have in the community, and it's just rough for them.
Yeah. Now, I had the opportunity to be at your banquet recently, and you gave us a statistic about the cost it takes to incarcerate someone versus educating someone.
For example, I believe the national average cost of incarceration is around $80 billion with a B dollars a year. Just think if we cut that cost 10% and put $8 billion into these at-risk kids, how that would change a community. Our county jail here, 2-3 weeks ago, I checked on that, and 697 inmates were incarcerated in the county jail. Now, I figured it cost $158 a day per inmate and roughly $57,500 a day to totally operate the jail. Now, what's an interesting statistic is that approximately 60% of the inmates are African-American males.
Wow.
And I can assure you they're not from the West Side.
Yeah. And so now, with your program, how much does it cost to send that child to school?
Well, with what we can get through FAFSA, we can get probably $3,000 a year.
Wow.
And we have 2 graduating tomorrow at LIT.
Okay. Now, when you first started your foundation, you actually put your own money in it.
We put about $250,000, my wife and I, into the foundation to get it started.
So why did you feel the need to put your own money into this endeavor?
Well, getting a foundation, it takes a while to establish credibility, and I figured, well, if I started it off, then I can get other people involved. But there's such a tremendous need. Growing up, both my wife and I come from very humble backgrounds, and had people not given us an opportunity, we wouldn't be where we're at now. Now, these kids, these at-risk kids that we try to deal with, I'm not suggesting we give them a handout. I'm suggesting we give them a handout, an opportunity.
Right.
To get into the job force, to stay out of the criminal justice system, to stay out of prison, because it's much cheaper, and let them support their own family and themselves.
Now, the area mindset have to change.
Oh, yeah. And as I said earlier, we rely on the police much more than we should. The police has got a job to do, and they do it well. But they can't solve the social ills of a community. I was watching a network the other night, and I forget which one it was, but they said the best social program is jobs.
Yes.
Now, in Beaumont, we have a lot of jobs, but we don't have the qualified people to take them. So we bring people in from the outside to take these jobs, which is just mind-boggling why we wouldn't pay attention to our own community and get our own people trained and let them take the jobs.
Well, you know, I believe that many in the community believe that just because a person has a strike against them, that disqualifies them from having those jobs.
And it's poor education on the part of the community. I mean, as I said, the police's job is to maintain law and order. They identify crimes, they arrest them, they put them in jail. Then when they come out of jail, the community says, well, no, we can't hire you because you're an ex-convict. Well, then it's a revolving door. They end up going back into prison. And it's their whole life that way. In the meantime, they may have a child or two, but guess who's taking care of that child? And that's the community. So it's a lot cheaper for the community to get involved on the front end.
Right.
And keep people from going to prison to start with, or jail, than it is to incarcerate them and have a revolving door. I mean, if a person gets out of prison and you don't hire him, well, guess what? He's going back to prison.
Now your foundation has had success over the past few years because you have actually sent students through LIT and they've graduated. How many students have you already produced out of LIT?
I think we've got 4 or 5 so far. Well, we just started it 2 years ago.
Okay.
So, I mean, we've probably got 20 coming up for graduation
Okay.
in the next year.
So right now in LIT, there's about 20 plus students that are there.
23.
23.
23.
That the foundation is actually putting through school.
Exactly.
So if a person wanted to help support your organization into changing this situation and impacting this situation, how can they get involved and how much would it cost?
You know, it's interesting. If we got 5% of Jefferson County, Texas, investing $60 a year.
Wow, Percy, hold up a second. $60 a year?
$60 a year, $5 a month. We could send over 100 kids each year to the community college and potentially reduce that incarceration rate.
So
It's
just
such a simple process, but it's so difficult to get it going.
well, okay. Let's deal with the just the $60 aspect, and then we'll talk about the difficulty of getting that. So you're saying that if just 5%
5% of Jefferson
of
County.
Jefferson County, so that about how many people?
That's Jefferson County has about 255,000 people, so 12,000 people.
12,000 people out of our whole community. If each one of us just give $5 a month,
Exactly.
we can send over 100 kids to LIT.
100 at-risk kids to LIT.
100 at-risk kids.
Exactly. And you know the interesting part, if we kept one of those 100 kids from being incarcerated, let's say a 10-year sentence, one kid we saved from a 10-year sentence would pay for that 100 kids.
Wow.
And the numbers are so simple, and some of the fix, it's not a quick-term fix, but it's a fix. Over a period of time, you can reduce crime, you can reduce incarceration, and you can have people supporting themselves.
Okay, so now let me deal with this. Let's just say that there is an at-risk kid that wants to participate in your program. How do they get involved in it?
They can come to our office at 6545 Calder Avenue, and we don't keep any money in our account. If we got it, we give it.
You know, that's one of the things my administrator tells me. You know, he say, "Well, Pastor won't let grass grow under his feet because I'm gonna be doing something." So I understand that.
And I don't take a salary. My wife don't take a salary. So it's not about making money for ourselves. But they can come to our office. And those who want to donate can go to our website at www.ccefscholarships.org. And they can just hit the monthly $5 a month.
Wow.
And, people throw away $5 a month.
Oh yeah, I mean, you go to one of the fast food restaurants, and I mean that's that's a $5 donation right there.
Yeah, but I mean, we as a community, we need to understand what's going on around us. because the crime and the issues may be on one part of town, but it affects the whole community.
Yeah.
And you know, it's going to take the community to fix it. It's going to take the community to become better educated on our criminal justice system. Stop depending on the police to solve all your social ills in the community. That's not their job.
Right.
Their job is to protect us. And you know what's interesting too on scholarships for the children of incarcerated? I've got over $80,000 donated by inmates.
Hold up a second, Percy. So the actual inmates are actually sewing back into your foundation
Exactly.
to help somebody else not come into their situation.
That's exactly right.
Wow.
You know, not everybody in prison is bad, and not everybody in the community is good. You know? Let me give you an example. When I was in El Paso, Texas, there was a police officer that was killed in a I believe it was a Walmart. And the police officers put a bid out for donations to buy bulletproof vests because the police department did not have the money. So I went to the inmates and I said, let's buy these officers bulletproof vests. And at first they said, well, you please put us in here. Do you want us to support them? And I asked them a simple question. Do you have family in the community? And they said, yes. I said, well, if your family gets in trouble, who are they going to call? The Black Extra Disciples, the Aryan Brotherhood, or 911? And if they call 911, do you want that person to be safe so they can protect your family? And those inmates donated around $3,000.
Wow. Wow. Now, Percy, let me clarify something about your foundation. You send kids not only of incarcerated people, but also just at-risk kids.
Oh, at-risk kids, and why not deal with them before they become incarcerated?
Right.
You know, one of our graduates tonight came to me, I don't know, a couple of years ago, I guess, and said, I want to go to LIT. And I said, have you ever been there? He says, yes, but I failed everything. I said, well, why would I spend the foundation money on sending you back? He convinced me that was the right thing to do. His first semester, he had a 3.5 GPA, and tomorrow he's graduating from LIT.
Wow.
What if we wouldn't have helped him?
Right.
And I could give you example after example after example of those type of situations. If we wouldn't have helped that kid, would he have been on public assistance? Would he be in a criminal justice system? Would he be in jail? And the only thing we did for him was give him an opportunity. And that's what we need to do in our community, is give these kids an opportunity.
Well, Percy, I want to thank you for doing what you do, really. And I want to encourage you to keep on doing what you do. Even if it looks like, nobody else is helping, nobody else is participating. I want to encourage you, look, stay the course. Because if you impact one child's life, like you said, I mean, you've done your job.
And I think so, too. I mean, we need to do a better job in educating the community. Because some of these issues that occur, it's not that difficult to fix. We just got to be aware that they do exist and what we can do to help. And I do need help from the community.
That's right. Well, listen, I want to thank Percy for being a part of what's happening in our neighborhood. And listen, like he said earlier, all it takes is $5 a month, $60 a year to help support this foundation, this Right Path program. And I'm telling you that all of us can do it. I'm going to start today by donating my $60 to this effort to help at-risk kids. I know when I was growing up, I was an at-risk kid. I was one of those statistics that could have gotten in trouble, kept myself in trouble. But I thank God that I had people around me that helped get me out of that situation. So now don't just sit on the sidelines and watch other people get involved. You need to get involved today, right now. And right there on your screen, there's the website that you could get on to make your donation and do it today. Don't wait. Listen, do not wait. Take care of it right now. And so those of you who are watching today, I know that you're going to get involved. I'm encouraged by the fact that you're going to get involved today. So I want to thank you for watching today, and I want you and thank you in advance for helping this organization help at-risk kids. So once again, I'm Carlton Sharp, pastor of Faith Christian Center Church, and we're here on what's happening in our neighborhood, and we will see you next time on the broadcast.